To my selfless Spartans, welcome back. To my good people, please join us. What would you do? Is my question. So, as I told you all, Berserk ended up getting a property. Now, for those of you who missed that, one of my selfless Spartans, Berserk, was homeless, saved up his money, worked his hardest, and was able to purchase a property while homeless. Now, when he bought that property, it was right before COVID-19 had hit. So he purchased the property, COVID-19 hit, and he was no longer allowed to work. This presented a great issue because now Berserk did not know how he was going to pay his mortgage. So, with all problems, we must try and find solutions. The solution he was gifted by the good Lord above was to rent out that property. That way, the property would be paid for, and the income that it produced and or cash flow could go towards his shelter. So even though COVID-19 was denying people of producing income, he would then have another way to survive. So Berserk, being from extreme poverty, decided that what better than to help a low-income family. People began to apply, and one woman in particular applied with a grave story of extreme poverty, of living in a homeless shelter with her children, and of needing shelter immediately. She told Berserk that the need was great. Berserk did his due diligence and she failed all of the background checks. But Berserk, being from extreme poverty, understood that that does not mean that she is not a bad person, and that does not mean that she is not capable of paying her rent. Because Berserk comes from low income and knows that that does not make you a bad person. That just puts you in a situation different from another. Low income means just that. It does not mean that you are bad. It does not mean that you are good. So Berserk gave her a chance. He allowed this low income single mother with 4 or 5 children to rent out his property. She destroyed my good friend's property from head to toe. He does not know if it was her or if it was her children, but regardless of the facts, Berserk's property was destroyed. The property he rented out from the goodness of his heart to a single low-income mother who failed all of the background checks, but who begged for kindness and compassion. She and her family destroyed Berserk's property from head to toe. They ripped electrical outlets out of the wall. They left out food that attracted rats. They ripped holes into the newly installed wood floor. They ripped holes into the newly installed wood floor. They ripped and knocked out walls. They destroyed all of the plumbing. The plumbing was so bad that they were standing inside of a bucket showering because the plumbing had stopped draining. There was mold everywhere because the water wasn't draining. The water destroyed the bathroom to the level that the foundation of the bathroom had rotted. This is how bad this woman and her children destroyed my good friend's home. Now I ask you this: what would you do in that situation? A, file for eviction. B, file for a lawsuit. C, this one's for you. Maybe I missed something. D, give her and her family a bigger home where they can walk around freely and comfortably and not be on top of each other. Because the home that Berserk allowed them to have in the first place was only 800 square feet. But this woman knew this and begged for shelter. So what is your choice? What is it that you would do? What would you do in this situation? Make your choice. Okay. Do you want to know what my selfless Spartan brother did? He gave this woman and her family an even bigger house of his. A 1,700 square foot colonial right in the middle of an amazing neighborhood with the most glorious of yards. Trees that will just astound you with the sheer magnitude of their natural growth. Trees that look like they can touch the sky. So she destroyed Berserk's first property, and my selfless Spartan brother gave her one 3 times bigger in an even better neighborhood. That is selfless. That is how you become a selfless Spartan. That is righteous. What would you do? Now, if that is not your choice, it is okay. We are born in sin. But it is written. Luke 6:27. Love for enemies. But I say to you that here, love your enemies. Do good to those who hate you. Bless those who curse you. Pray for those who abuse you. To him who strikes your cheek, offer the other also. And from him who takes away your cloak, do not withhold your coat as well. Give to everyone who begs from you. And of him who takes away your goods, do not ask them again. And as you wish that men would do to you, do so to them. If you love those who love you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners love those who love them. And if you do good to those who do good to you, what credit is that to you? For even sinners do the same. And if you lend to those from whom you hope to receive, what credit is that to you? Even sinners lend to sinners to receive as much again. But love your enemies and do good and lend, expecting nothing in return. And your reward will be great, and you will be sons of the Most High. For he is kind to the ungrateful and the selfish. Be merciful, even as your Father is merciful. Be selfless and be kind to my selfless Spartans. Continue to do selfless acts. Continue to make the good Lord smile. To my good people, I thank you for joining us. I love you all.